Today I'm finishing some casts. These are color pencil blanks, and I use these big protein jugs to cast them because it's hard to get a big round cast. And this is perfect for making the vases and the bowls and things. So what I've done is put all the color pencils in, and I pour about an inch or so in the bottom, and I put that in the pressure pot and let that cure. And that holds all my pencils because even though sometimes you pack them tight, a pencil or two will sneak out and pop up way up here and it'll leave a void in the cast. So I like to do that to make sure they're all down. So I'm going to use liquid diamonds, and I'm going to have to mix a couple of cups because I don't know how much I put in these. Um, I don't want to sneak up on it because I don't want to make a bunch of extra and have waste. So we'll do that. So I'm just adding that. That's part A is the 1. Part 2 is the 2 to 1. Let me tear this. That's 5. I need 5 3/4. And 4, 5. Oh, perfect. All right, I'm going to stir this really good. Now, epoxies, you can see it's kind of cloudy. You can see the part B sitting on top of the part A right there. But when I stir this, I'm going to stir it for a few seconds. It'll start to clear up. It'll still have the bubbles, but it'll start to clear. And you want to stir this for a couple of solid minutes. So I'll have Amy fast forward the video now. So that's a couple of minutes of stirring. You can see it's clear other than the bubbles, and there is white from the previous cast because I reused my cups. So now I can pour these in, and I'm just going to pour them until I'm overflowing the pencils. Now I don't know how much I'll need, so I may have to do a couple. But what I'll do is I'll pour in this first one, and I'll go to the second one. That way I can give it time to settle and get down between the pencils because it takes quite a lot of time. And you'll see a lot of bubbles coming out through the pencils. The reason I use liquid diamonds for this is it's super thin and it'll let those bubbles escape. If I used a thicker epoxy, it might trap those bubbles. So I am going to put them under pressure, but you can see all the bubbles coming out of there. So while that's going, you can video that. I'm going to mix up a little more resin. I'm not going to need a whole lot. Getting towards the end of my jug here. All right, so we need 215. Okay. And you can see those are still bubbling out pretty good. This one is almost high enough. It's still going to go down a little because of the air. You can see the little bubbles in between. So I want to overfill it a little more. And this one obviously needs quite a bit more. So I'm going to stir these, or stir this, and then we'll refill these a little more. And it's okay if there's some bubbles on the very tips of these pencils because usually we cut these blanks off flat so you have a flat surface to mount to in the lathe. But you don't want the air going very far down because you'll lose some of the bulk of the blank. I'm going to go a little there. I'm a little bit over the pencils now. I'll go a little more here. That's probably enough on that one, and I'll add the rest to this one. So that should be good for my 2 blanks to go in. These blanks are expensive. They're expensive to make and they're expensive to buy because of that. There's about $7 or $8 just in color pencils in each one of these. And then there's, I don't remember how many I might have wrote it on here. I think this was the first cast was 53 ounces. So there's a lot of ounces in here. So when resin is $130 for a gallon and a half, and you got $7 or $8 in color pencils, these blanks get up pretty quick in price. But I'm going to drop them in the 5-gallon. And you can see they fit nicely. I actually could fit a third in here if I had one. No problem. And these will fit in the small tank, but I'm going to use the small tank for something else in a minute. So they are going in the big one. This is the California Air Tools 5-gallon. All right, and I brought that up to 40 pounds. That's all I need for these blanks, and I'm going to let them sit till tomorrow.